It's basic. It's bitch. It's basic bitch tarot. Absolutely no reversals. Under no circumstances, no reversals. The spades are swords. The clubs are wands. The diamonds are so obviously pentacles. The hearts are in fact cups. Major arcana, blocks of energy.
Comprende? Bueno. Hello from San Antonio, this is Siren Tarot. I've received a lot of requests for a video explaining how I read the cards, so I'll attempt to do so. In this video, I have other videos at this channel on how I read tarot, why I don't read reversals, etc., etc. But I'll try to cram everything into this one video. I'll try to make it as comprehensive as possible. So I started this channel November 18th, 2018. This is the first deck that I started with. I think when I started this channel, I had this, Cat Black's Golden Tarot, Legend Arthurian, and the Essential Tarot. I think that was it. So yeah, I've read the little white books. I've read books on tarot. I've watched other readers. I've only been seriously, consistently reading tarot for 3 years. You know, before I started this channel, November 18th, 2018, I had other channels where I would pull the occasional card or cards, but I wasn't really serious about it. There are all kinds of rules. There are all kinds of readers. I wouldn't trust someone who says it has to be this way. Like any art, tarot is subjective. Of course, if you see a lot of swords in a reading, that's not going to be that positive, depending, but reversals. The reason why I don't read reversals is because I don't feel that it's necessary. I'm certainly not scared of delivering a negative message. You can get an extremely negative message just reading the cards in the upright. You can get all kinds of meanings just reading the cards in the upright. I'm all about clarity. I feel that reversals add to the confusion, and they simply are not necessary, my opinion. So I'll do a basic bitch 6-card spread, starting off, warming up, using Cat Black's Golden Tarot, and take it from there. Queen of Cups, 7 of Cups, Knight of Swords, Three of Cups, Ace of Coins, and the Magician. So I'll give my interpretation, and then I'll try to explain how I arrived at that interpretation. So say you're a client and you just paid for a 15-minute reading. You paid $25 for a 15-minute reading. This is how I read for my clients. I do 6-card spreads, 6 cards from one deck. I mean, ideally, for a 15-minute reading, you'll send me 3 questions, and it will be a 6-card spread for each question. Of course, I clarify as needed. So, say the question is, will he contact me again? This is a clear yes. He will contact you again. He or she. This person, the person of interest, fantasizes about you. There's a lot of projection. There's a lot of rose-colored glasses. Maybe you post really dramatic, glamorous selfies on Instagram, for instance, and this person is entranced by your glamour. They don't really know you. They want to get to know you better. The Knight of Swords, who's very direct, is going toward the Seven of Cups, which I call Neptune clouds of confusion. This is when you see the aura of glamour around someone, but you don't really know someone yet. But there's a very strong romantic pull. So the Knight of Swords, the person of interest, is going toward the Querent, the Queen of Cups, who probably has considerable water in her or his natal chart. I'm seeing Pisces and Cancer, but there could be Scorpio. This person, the Querent, is very sure of their worth. They're on solid ground. They're not off in la la land. They know who they are. They know their worth. They know what they bring to the table. They're stable. And they're up for having a good time and taking a casual approach and not getting too deep, too serious, too quick. There's this fun vibe, this fun, flirtatious vibe. You probably have a similar sense of humor. So neither one of you are exactly sure on what you want to manifest in this connection. You're just having fun as you go along. It's very lighthearted. But yes, this person will contact you again. And if I was reading right now, which I am, I'm reading right now, if you wanted a time estimate, well, when is he or she going to contact me again? Probably in Cancer season because of all this water. So Cancer season begins tomorrow, doesn't it? June 22nd? Yeah, I can see them contacting you in Cancer season. Okay. So I'm just thinking on different levels. I'm trying to figure out how can I explain how I got this interpretation. Okay, the cups are feelings, the cups are emotions. We have two signifiers. That's really strong. That's really ideal to have two signifiers in a 6-card spread. And this signifier is going toward this signifier. And what do they have between them? These romantic, fake feelings. This is not being in love. 7 of Cups is not being in love with someone. It's being in love with the idea of someone. There's glamour. You don't really know each other yet. 3 of Cups is not a deep emotional investment. It's flirtation. It's having a good time. You know your value. You know your worth. Ace of Coins, stability. Magician. In this context, this is very light-hearted energy, especially the Knight of Swords, which is air, being over the Magician, which is Mercury, which rules Gemini and Virgo, but this is more a Gemini card, I would say. So not too serious, very light-hearted. That's as clear as I can break it down, really. I hate when I see specks. Okay. Let's ask a hypothetical question or a pretend question. Pretend like this is a private reading. Okay. What are their current thoughts and feelings in 6 cards? their current thoughts and feelings in 6 cards. The High Priestess, Knight of Coins, Page of Cups, Nine of Swords, Four of Wands, 10 of Cups. It's tricky. Sometimes I have to break my own rules because usually when I'm doing the 6 card spreads in the private readings, I want to see a good cup card in the first row, such as the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 2 of Cups, ideally. Barring that, if there's not a good cup card in the first row, I would like to see 2 signifiers in the first row. The reason why I'm so picky is I do not want to give anyone any amount of false hope. There's no purpose in that. So very rarely do I use oracle cards at this channel or handwritten messages. I would never do a reading that's just messages. I don't see the value in that. I mean, I can read oracle cards in a private reading, but I would never do that unless a client requested it. I read straight tarot in my private readings. I usually do my private readings on the webcam, but per client's request, I can do the reading like this, like a pick a card. I can add messages, the little mini tarot cards, dice, Scrabble. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I have very strict preferences because I'm not trying to keep anyone in delusion. I'm not trying to facilitate someone waiting around for something that may never happen. However, asking how they're feeling, we have obsessive thinking in the first row, 9 of Swords. Now, in my considerable experience as someone who is 48 years old, who has given birth twice, who has been married and divorced twice, been in love numerous times, you're not going to obsessively think about someone if there aren't romantic feelings there in the context of a romantic sexual relationship. With all this thought, I would say, yes, there are romantic feelings. We have 2 marriage cards side by side. So this person could be agonizing, thinking they could have a really good, fulfilling relationship with you, but there are lots of barriers, there are lots of obstacles. They could think that you're out of their league. They could be very cautious. They're guarding their heart because they've recently been rejected, hurt. They could still be getting over a recent ex or still scarred from a previous relationship. They find you very mysterious. They can't figure you out. They can't stop thinking about you. But they're taking this very cautious approach. They may come across like they're nonchalant. They're not really emotionally invested, but this is a facade. They're putting on a show. They're guarding their heart. But they do see you as a potential partner. And if you haven't received it yet, you can expect romantic communication from this person in the immediate future. Sometimes, if necessary, I clarify each row, or if I don't really need clarity, just some extra information, I'll do a 3-card energetic summation. Please provide an energetic summation and 3 additional cards. Nine of Coins, the Star, 5 of Coins, This person has always been very independent. They could have strong Aquarius and Virgo in their chart. The star is Aquarius, Nine of Coins, Nine of Pentacles is associated with Virgo. Falling in love is a mind fuck for this person. They're really adept at doing practical things, making that coin, just living life in the 3D, no problems. But when it comes to falling in love, they're terrified. They're easily triggered. I'm seeing intimidation here. You could have a fan base, you could be an influencer, you could have a platform, you could have a channel, and they feel like they're just one of your fans. They feel like you have a lot more to offer. They feel like you're superior to them in some way. This person is very humble. They could have low self-esteem. They just feel like, who am I in comparison to you? That's what I'm getting. Okay. So that's tarot. Reading the playing cards. Six of Hearts, Six of Cups, something, the Beatles. This is a Cellmate card. Ask whatever question you want. Tyrone, Erica Badu. Eight of Hearts, Eight of Cups. King of Spades, King of Swords. Yes. Hearts or cups, spades or swords. Clubs or wands. Reunited and it feels so good. Six of Wands. Six is Venus. King of Wands. Lay all your love on me. Erasure. Ace of Diamonds. Ace of Pentacles. That's good. We have two signifiers. Two sixes in the first row. Soulmate card. Six of Wands. Victory, success, triumph. We have these two signifiers. So there's obvious interest here. There is energy. You have the foundation for a lasting, fulfilling relationship. There's mutual respect. You consider each other equals. Eight of Cups, and this is my interpretation. I didn't learn this from anyone. I figured this out on my own. I came to this conclusion on my own. Eight of Cups is not always about walking away from something. It's walking towards something. I associate Eight of Cups with the North Node, your soul's purpose in this lifetime. So, for example, in my natal chart, my North Node is 16 Capricorn in the 5th, the house of Leo. So it's an axis, same as the descendant and the ascendant. The exact opposite of 16 Capricorn in the 5th is 16 Cancer in the 11th. The South Node is where you're coming from. It has to do with your previous incarnation, the life before this one that you're living now. Where you're comfortable, where you get stuck, where you hide. Like I've said numerous times, me having my South Node at 16 Cancer, I'm very comfortable being codependent. I'm very comfortable hiding in my relationships, hiding behind a man, hiding in a house, in a gated subdivision, baking cookies, putting away laundry, washing dishes, reading stories, or telling stories to my son. That's where I'm comfortable. I push myself to be visible, to be on camera, to do this, to read for clients. That is not comfortable for me. I enjoy it a lot of the time, but I have Virgo rising and a Virgo moon, and my sun and Venus and Aquarius are in the 6th house, the house of Virgo, so I'm very critical of myself, and I would rather not be on camera. I would rather hide. But I'm pushing myself because I do believe that I found a kind of purpose doing this. And even before I had this channel, I mean, I've always had channels. For over a decade, I've had channels at YouTube. And I've always put my stuff out there in my books, my fiction, my short stories, my poetry. I've always felt compelled to take that risk. So this person inspires you to leave your comfort zone behind and go toward a higher calling. Who are you supposed to be in this lifetime? So this person could serve as a catalyst. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Eight of Spades, Eight of Swords. Are you being stuck? Or are you moving toward the person you want to be, the life you want to live? Do you know your value? Do you know your worth? Is a Three of Cups kind of relationship acceptable to you? See you when I see you. Don't call me, I'll call you. Let's just get together, smoke, drink, have a good time. Nothing too deep. That's not a deep investment of emotions. So, and that happens. It happens often where you'll get these really strong positive cards and then cards that seem like some bullshit. So which narrative do you believe? Well, you can say it's complicated. You feel this strong connection, but maybe the two of you know the work that is required in really committing to this relationship, and it's scary. Maybe you have tried to keep it casual, but one or both of you caught feelings. I mean, I am seeing mutuality because we start with two sixes. 6 is even, it's balanced, 6 is Venus. And 8 is very serious. That's Capricorn, Saturn. So regarding the numerology, there are all kinds of there's all kinds of numerological systems, just like there's all kinds of astrology. I use Western astrology, Western, tropical, the equal house system. Everyone's different. That's my system. So I use the numerology referenced in Linda Goodman's Star Signs. Okay. Well, I have personal things written in here, but it tells you in this book, each astrological sign has its own planetary ruler, and each planet vibrates to a certain number. 9 is the number of the planet Mars, ruler of Aries. 6 is the number of planet Venus, ruler of Taurus and Libra. And then she has some bullshit. I mean, in my mind, it's bullshit, but she says, until the true ruler of Taurus, Pan-Horus, is discovered. 5 is the number of the planet Mercury, ruler of Gemini and Virgo, until the true ruler of Virgo, Vulcan, is discovered. 7 is the number of the planet Neptune, ruler of Pisces. 8, Saturn, Capricorn. 4, Uranus, I pronounce it Uranus, Aquarius. 3, Jupiter, Sagittarius. 2, Moon, Cancer. 1, Sun, Leo. And 0 is the powerful number of Pluto, ruler of Scorpio. So when I'm rolling the dice, of course, you're never going to get a 0 on the die. So Mars is also the ruler of Scorpio, the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Getting really deep there. Six, Venus. 3, Jupiter, Sagittarius. 1, Leo, the Sun. 1, Leo, the Sun. 2, Cancer, the Moon. And you got 8 for Capricorn. You got 9 for Mars, Aries. You got 7 for Neptune, Pisces. I don't think the dice or the die always add to the reading. I don't use these in all of my readings. Sometimes it's cool when you get 2 matches. Let's see, let's try for 2 matches. Nope. It's very rare that I get 2 matches with the dice. Okay. I'm not going to do the Scrabble. We all know how to spell. I'm not going to do Hello Kitty. Well, what the hell? A message from Hello Kitty for the collective. Just one. Can I trust you? Absolutely, baby. Who will I marry? Who will be my third and final husband? One card. My third and final husband. Looks like I'm not going to get married again. 5 of Cups. It's an Amy Winehouse song. It's a Billie Holiday song. Oh well, better luck next lifetime. No, I do not want to come back and do this all over again, so I got to get it right now. I've come to terms with that. I've come to terms that I may have exceeded my quota. I may never fall in love and get married again. That's not tragic. I've had plenty of experiences. I've received and given a lot of love in this lifetime, and I am grateful. If I never fall in love again, never have sex again, never get married again, I can absolutely accept that. Okay, my newest deck, Sexuality Tarot. I got this at Etsy. In one of my videos on how I read tarot, I burn a little white book in my cauldron. I don't look at the little white books. But this is the newest deck. I saw the images at Etsy and I just could not resist. Please give us a word for the collective. The moon is currently waxing. We're coming up on the strawberry moon, the full moon in Capricorn on Thursday, the 24th, 10 of Wands. Although this is obviously a fire card, so the wands are fire, the cups are water. They're all connected. I mean, it's all connected, astrology, numerology. Yeah, wands are fire, cups are water, swords are air, pentacles are earth. Although this is a fire card, it is associated with Saturn and Capricorn because it's some hard-ass work. It's not frivolity, it's not having a good time, it's hard-ass work. 10 of Wands. You might as well do the work now. If you don't do it now, you'll do it later. Page of Swords. 2 of Wands, the World, El Mundo, King of Wands. No, I do not speak fluent Spanish. I wish that I could. If I could speak fluent Spanish, then I would absolutely have a full-on bilingual channel. I speak all the Spanish that I can. The cards have helped me. Queen of Wands. Okay. So if it's a relationship, it's a good one. Because your heads are not in the clouds. You're both willing to do the hard-ass work that's required to keep this going. The communication is minimal, but it's not because you're talking to other people. It's not because you're scattering your energy all over the place. It's because you're both prioritizing your career or careers. You're both working your asses off at this time. But I see mutual respect. I see 2 creative people, 2 mature people who have a lot of life experience. You could both be single parents. Taking the romance and the sex out of it, it could be that you have one job to pay the bills, to keep the lights on, to put food on the table, but that job is not really feeding your soul. There's something else that you devote your time and energy to, and that's where the joy is. So, take Charles Bukowski, for example. Charles Bukowski was a Leo. He worked for years in slaughterhouses, factories. He worked for the post office. He delivered mail, and he worked in the actual office sorting the mail. And when he wasn't working his ass off, he was working his ass off. He was writing. Until finally John Martin of Black Sparrow Press said, and I think this was in the 60s, not sure. I think it was in the 60s. He said, I'll pay you $100 a month to just write. Now, Charles Bukowski has been dead for about, I was about to say 10 years. He's been dead since 1994, I think. And there's still new books coming out almost every year, new poetry collections, because he worked his ass off. Even when he wasn't working, he was working. So eventually, in his late middle age, he was able to make money, real money, with his writing, and he didn't have to work anymore. So I see two badasses if it's a relationship. And if it's not a relationship, you're just a badass, and all the work you put into your passion, it could be writing, it could be art, music, it's going to pay off eventually. But right now you're planting the seeds. Keeping the faith. Okay, so what else? I talk about astrology a lot. I get a lot of astrology questions. It's like I say again and again and again and again. Google is your BFF. Any questions you have regarding synastry, you can Google, you can read books, you can watch YouTube videos. There is a wealth of information at your fingertips. This is one of my many astrology books. One of my favorites, I would say, The Astrology of Sexuality by Martin Schulman. First published in 1982. Understanding Sexuality. Well, that's really ambitious. The Sex Function, Sex Karma. What is that? Sex Karma. 24. The goal of sex is not only physical gratification, nor is it only emotional fulfillment. It isn't even the achievement of mental understanding. It is the unification of two souls melting into the cosmic oneness that is their divine legacy. Sex karma implies many intricate threads, much like those interwoven in a tapestry that slowly moves towards completion. Whatever our sexual level is, we will automatically attract two distinct types of people to us. One type represents our sexual teachers, while the other symbolizes our sexual students. Each of us can see where we have been and where we are going at any given time. We are often most comfortable with people whose sexual involvement is from our past, and we stay in our past as long as we vibrate on that level. We may not be comfortable with those whose sexual involvement symbolizes all we are evolving toward. If we are willing to learn something higher, we will unquestionably make much karmic progress, not only in the sexual area, but also in coming closer to a fuller understanding of our being and our place in the world. So I've had all kinds of sex. You know, I'm 48 years old. And this is what I strongly believe. And sex without awareness is basically wasteful and karmically stagnant. My belief on that is, if you just want an orgasm or orgasms, if you're a woman, you can get vibrators. Too easy. If you're a man, you don't need a vibrator. But when you're involving someone else in your life, when you're exchanging energy with someone, that's a responsibility. It requires you to be a basic, decent human being. you know, because I see so much trash. I see so much bullshit with my clients, with the comments I get on my channel, on my videos. There's so much trash and just absolute bullshit out there. And I have very strong opinions and I have zero tolerance for it. If you just want to be gratified, you can gratify yourself. But don't bring someone else into your life if you're not willing to be decent, to show up, to have accountability. Okay? It's spiritual hygiene. How spiritually hygienic is it to get sexually involved with someone who isn't really there for you emotionally, who doesn't really care if you live or die? You're just a means to an end. Where is the satisfaction in that? And I'm preaching from the pulpit because I have so much experience and I've seen what's out there and I know what it's like to agonize, to wonder what you mean to someone and the communication is not flowing and the person only contacts you when they want to have sex. I never recommend that. Because you're exchanging energy and energy is very valuable. I don't have any tolerance for casual sex. I want no part of it because there's nothing, from my perspective, there's nothing to be said for casual sex. And that's why I think so many people are drawn to the twin flame stuff, because we want something divine, something sacred sexuality, you know? We don't want the sexual equivalent of a cup of noodles or ramen or a slice of pizza. We want a feast for our soul. So that's where the twin flame fascination comes in. So it's simply not as simple. And I've seen the videos and they're fun. I mean, they can be entertaining and even educational, you know, Aries man, Scorpio woman, Gemini man, Gemini woman, but that's not deep. It's very superficial. If you want true knowledge, you simply have to dig. You have to go deeper. And it's like I say again and again and again, I believe that the keys to synastry are the moon and Mercury. Moon, that's our feelings, our emotions, our pain body, daily habits and routines, the subconscious. Mercury, our intellect, how we communicate, our sense of humor. I would say you have to have those two things. In synastry, they have to show up for it to be a substantial, gratifying, long-lasting Ten of Cups, Four of Wands kind of relationship. So it's like I say again and again, I look at the major aspects. I don't fuck with the minor shit. I think for the moon, ideally, you would have a conjunction or an opposition, tight orb, 5 degrees or less, one example of many. So my moon is at 6 Virgo. It would be optimal for my partner to have his moon at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Virgo, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Pisces. Sextile can be good. The trine can be good. But I would say the conjunction and opposition are optimal for the moon. For Mercury, I would say you want the conjunction or the trine. Absolutely no square. No square for Mercury, no square for the moon. And you have to look at where your stuff falls in the person's house or where their stuff falls in your house. It's good to have stuff in your partner's second house for stability, security. Fourth house, the fourth house is home. Fourth house is Cancer, someone you feel at home with. Fifth house, Leo, that's romance, fun sex, as opposed to the eighth house, which is more serious karmic sex. Eighth house is Scorpio. And that's also inheritance, money that's inherited. First house, that's going to be really hot if someone has stuff, personal stuff like the moon, Venus, Mars in your first house, the house of Aries. 12th house, traditionally it's not recommended that you get with someone who has a lot of stuff in your 12th house. There's going to be a lot of shadows. There can be enabling with addiction. I know it didn't work for me. My second ex-husband, my son's father, the greatest ally of my life, but his moon, sun, Mars, and Mercury in Leo are in my 12th house. And he's been my ally, but he's also been my enabler. He allowed me to be very codependent on him. He wasn't good for my growth. Not to put all that responsibility on him. It's my responsibility to grow, but I mean, I tend to be drawn to men who act as a catalyst, who basically put a fire under my ass. So that would be the 1st house and the 5th house, I would say. So Taurus is my 9th house. Scorpio is my 3rd house. If Virgo in the 1st house accompanies this placement, which it does, my moon in Virgo's in the 1st house, conjunct my ascendant. If Virgo in the 1st house accompanies this placement, then some of the extreme intensity is leveled off. Okay. Thus, he is capable of turning non-sexual situations into sexual ones, but always making it look like the responsibility falls on the other person. Much of this occurs because he has an insistent quality that likes to go right to the core of things. It's interesting. Anyway, this is recommended reading. So yes, when I'm reading tarot, I'm bringing numerology and astrology into it. I don't like the fairy tale readings where it doesn't matter which pile you pick, it's going to be positive. There's going to be all these love messages. Oh, this person's totally in love with you. I mean, I guess that's like ASMR for some people. It's soothing. But I like the nitty gritty. And my favorite readings, the ones that I watch online at YouTube, they're the ones where the reader will call out really specific things. They're not so general and vague. They're more specific. I like that. What else? I guess that's everything. I could just do a sample reading where I do take the reversals, but I never take the reversals. What is happening for the collective the second half of 2021, these next 6 months? What can we expect? The Sun, the most positive card in the deck. Beautiful. Oh, reverse, 7 of Wands in some decks. I think in the Thoth, 7 of Wands is Mars and Leo. Death. So we have this fixed energy. We have Leo and Scorpio. Queen of Wands. 5 of Swords. And the Fool. Aquarius. So we have the Leo Aquarius axis. So do you see the mind fuck of taking reversals? Okay. There's going to be this creative growth in the next 6 months, but a lot of stops and starts, a lot of resistance. No conflict though, because 5 of Swords in reverse, so we're all getting along. The communication is just like butter. It's just smooth as butter. Not taking any risk, not willing to transform, just staying in this little happy baby land. But there's creative block here. Things aren't flowing. Okay, so fuck the reversal. Yes, there's going to be resistance, misunderstandings, obstacles to overcome, growing pains, because you are transforming. We are transforming as a collective. The old ways are dying an agonizing death. People are becoming more and more independent and resourceful. Okay, the old way is not working. I don't want to go to a call center and sit there and sweat and bleed and cry in a cubicle for 8 hours every day, take a 30-minute lunch break in a room that smells like burnt popcorn with some bullshit on the TV, and then just sit there and die a little inside every day, taking phone calls from people who are pissed off about a cell phone bill or a credit card bill. Fuck that. I don't want to go to a slaughterhouse and chop up dead animals and put the dead animal parts into little styrofoam packets or whatever. I don't want to eat cup of noodles or ramen. I don't want to go to the drive-thru at Wendy's. Actually, I do. I want to go through the drive-thru at Wendy's and I want to get the spicy nuggets with sweet and sour sauce and Dr. Pepper, and then go to McDonald's for the fries. Do a Trish Paytas mukbang, just go from drive-thru to drive-thru. Go here for the nuggets and the sauce, here for the fries, here for the milkshake, whatever. Okay. I want to write the novel that's going to just set the world on fire, and the old ways are going to die. The patriarchy, the fat white cats in power in DC, all the overfed politicians in DC who are having their $500 hooker blowjob cocaine lunches while the working class are taking the phone calls and wiping the butts and tying the shoelaces and making the tacos, and the Kardashians are taking a jet to Fiji and they're hiring these women to dress up like mermaids to entertain their children, you know. Eat the rich. Doing things for ourselves, thinking outside the box, growing a garden, living off the grid, living that minimalist lifestyle, drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated, not getting stuck in some bullshit so-called karmic relationship where there's no understanding and there's just jealousy and, oh, why did you put a banana emoji on his Instagram? Do you want to suck his dick? Why did you put the cat with hard eyes on her latest selfie? You want a Hello Kitty? You know, I mean, yeah, none of that bullshit. Only taking the risk that pay off, you know, going for the gold, so to speak. Only getting involved with people who are going to applaud your progress. People who are going to bask in your light because you are a badass and you deserve nothing less. Peace out.